Tonight on News Prime, Women Affairs Minister unveils committee to strengthen child policy. The Business Transmission Company of Nigeria completes tower relocation, restores power supply to Abuja substation. On the foreign scene, Iranian women arrested for dancing in cemetery, violating dress code. And in sports, Sabalenka tames Badosa to make third straight Australian Open final. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Uyi Agumofwegbe, reminding our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nightcomsat. Tonight, let's begin by telling you President Bola Tinubu has assured the Nigerian Armed Forces that his administration would never compromise on the welfare of troops, promising that he would continue to provide whatever is needed to ease the job of the troops as well as commit more resources to improving their welfare. The president spoke at the inauguration of the Bola Tinubu Barracks in Abuja, where he noted that the federal government is committed to providing necessary support for troops to fulfill their mandates. He used the opportunity to urge military leadership to ensure adequate maintenance culture to keep their accommodation. President Bola Tinubu has joined the government and people of Plateau State in mourning the passing of a former minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Lieutenant General Jeremiah Useni, retired. Special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, noted that Tinubu extended condolences to the family, friends, military colleagues, and political associates of the former governor of Old Bender State, Minister of Transport, and Quartermaster General of the Nigerian Army. The elder statesman died on Thursday, January 23, 2025, at the age of 82, following a protracted illness. Minister of Women Affairs, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, has unveiled a committee to review the National Child Policy of 2007. In a statement signed by the Minister's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Jonathan Eze, the minister described the initiative as a critical step in a commitment to the well-being of children. She emphasized that it also demonstrates her resolve to build a conducive atmosphere for Nigerian children to thrive and lead brighter futures. Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 7 Command in Abuja, Benneth Igwe, has called on the divisional police officers in Niger State and the Federal Capital Territory to sensitize the public on the danger of scooping fuel from falling tankers. Igwe made the call when he visited the scene of the recent tanker explosion at the Diko Junction. He said the incident was a stark reminder of the need for vigilance and safety in communities, noting that the tragedy highlighted the critical importance of safety on the roads and the need for strict compliance with road traffic regulations. The Nigerian Air Force says its air components of Operation Fansanyama has killed scores of bandits and dismantled their logistics base at Alawa Forest in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. This is contained in a statement by Director of Nigerian Air Force Public Relations, Air Vice Marshal Olushola Akimboyewa. According to the statement, the airstrike was a significant achievement in its counter-terrorism campaign, noting that the operation was based on credible intelligence and follow-up confirmatory aerial surveillance efforts, which indicated an influx of armed terrorists into the forest. Meanwhile, a federal high court in Abuja has proscribed the Lakurawa sect and declared it a terrorist organization. The court also designated other similar groups in any part of Nigeria, especially in northwest and north-central zones of the country, as terrorist organizations. Justice James Omotosho, in a ruling on the ex parte originating summons filed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, declared that an order is hereby made declaring the activities of the Lakurawa sect and other similar groups in any part of Nigeria as acts of terrorism and illegality. Let's turn to aviation sector now, where the Managing Director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Olubunmi Kuku, has threatened that when she is tired of her role as the boss of the agency, she will throw in the towel. Kuku said this while fielding aviation industry-based questions, stating that she had stepped on toes and would step on more people's toes, although with caution. She also responded to criticisms that have greeted her claim that 580 billion naira is required to fix obsolete runways across the country, appealing to all who care to understand the need for the money to find out what it takes to take care of aviation infrastructure. The Nigerian Police and National Human Rights Commission have been engaged in a heated debate over the legality of jailing minors arrested at protest grounds for felony and treasonable offenses. The debate took place at the public presentation of a research report titled Beyond the Protest, an explanatory study of the End Bad Governance protest in Nigeria, organized by Kimpact Development Initiative in Abuja. In August last year, Nigeria witnessed widespread demonstrations under the End Bad Governance movement driven by public dissatisfaction to protest the economic hardships and governance issues ravaging the country. The Lagos State Technical and Vocational Education Board has reiterated its commitment to providing gender-inclusive technical education to Lagosians. Speaking at the annual management retreat with the theme Technical and Vocational Training, Key to Sustainable Development, Executive Secretary of the Board, Moronke Aziz, noted that it had advanced significantly from a time when technical colleges were dismissed as mere dump sites for failures. Hence, she urged participants to remain focused and dedicated to achieving the agency's goals. The suspended resident electoral commissioner of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Hudu Yunusa Ari, has pleaded with Adamawa State High Court to adjourn the case brought against him by the electoral body indefinitely. Ari approached the court presided by Justice Benjamin Manji-Lawan, though his counsel M. Tijani, with an application asking the court to stay proceedings in the substantive case. In an application dated January 21, 2025, the defendant prayed the court to grant the request pending the ruling on his application filed before the Court of Appeal, Yola Division in Adamawa State. United Airlines flights Boeing 787-8 outbound from Lagos to Washington declared an emergency and made an air return to Lagos. Having established a return track to Lagos, it was reported that the aircraft crew maintained the emergency transponder code 7700 with the control tower till it landed. The aircraft, initially bound for Washington International Airport, is an over 13-year-old wide-body aircraft belonging to the U.S. carrier United Airlines. This is Global Television. You're watching the live broadcasts of News Prime coming to you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. When News Prime returns shortly, Russian drones kill 3 near Kiev as Ukraine launches a barrage. We'll have those details from the foreign scene as well as others from business and sports for you. After this break, please do stay with us. Well, thank you so very much for staying with us on News Prime here on Global Television with Uyi Agmofwebe. We begin the second part of the news with business, where 3 days after the scheduled deadline, the transmission company of Nigeria has announced the complete relocation of 8 132 kV and 33 kV towers along the Kukwaba-Apo 132 kV transmission line to the delights of residents in the Federal Capital Territory. The company announced this in a statement signed by its General Manager, Public Affairs, Ndidi Mba. It also stated the restoration of full bulk power to the 132-33 kVA Apo transmission substation, ensuring the resumption of normal power distribution to the area. Similarly, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry has projected a reduction in interest rates in the coming months as inflation shows signs of easing. Speaking at a press briefing for the Chamber's 2025 outlook in Lagos, LCCI President Gabriel Idausa noted that the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, is likely to adopt an easing posture soon. The Chamber expressed concern over the impact of high interest rates on the private sector, which he described as the backbone of Nigeria's economy. The National Association of Telecommunications Subscribers says it will engage the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) as it seeks a possible reversal of the 50% telecom tariff hike to 10%. This is coming as the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) has indicated its readiness for a protest. The federal government had approved a 50% increase after operators had initially requested a 100% hike. The Secretary to Enugu State Government, Professor Chidebere Onya, has threatened to terminate contracts of contractors doing shoddy jobs in the Igbo Etiti local government area of the state. Onya made this known while inspecting the ongoing construction of smart green schools and Type 3 primary healthcare centers across the local government. Alongside his team and the Igbo Etiti chairman, Dr. Eric Odo, he expressed displeasure with contractors who would not deliver projects in record time, hinting that the government would blacklist them. The federal government, through the Debt Management Office, DMO, has announced plans to raise 450 billion naira through its January 2025 bond auction. This figure surpasses the 360 billion naira offered in January 2024 and the 120 billion naira from December last year, and is part of efforts to bridge the fiscal deficits and meet financial obligations while providing investment opportunities for both institutional and individual investors. The bond auction, scheduled for January 27, 2025, features a combination of reopened and newly issued bonds designed to appeal to a diverse range of investors. Let's turn to other stories on business. Oil marketers have expressed optimism about the rehabilitation of Nigeria's 21 depots by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, following the recent revival of the Port Harcourt and Warri refineries by the oil company. Although the National Oil Company has promised to get the depots running, dealers in the downstream oil sector say it is important to hasten the revamp of the facilities, as this would increase the gains of having functional refineries in Nigeria. They urged the national oil firm to take immediate and decisive steps to restore all inactive fuel depots owned by the company across the country. And now time to take you to the foreign scene. Iranian police have arrested 2 young women after the publication of a video in which they danced in a Tehran cemetery without adhering to the country's strict dress code. The police statement says in the Cemetery of Martyrs in Tehran, disregarding the sacred sites, recorded a video clip with inappropriate clothing and movements that were outside of custom and Sharia Islamic law. The statement further noted that the move caused strong public protest, especially from the families of the martyrs, and the 2 were arrested by the police and handed over to judicial authorities. Afghanistan's Taliban government says an arrest warrant sought by the International Criminal Court (ICC) for its leaders are politically motivated. It comes a day after the ICC chief prosecutor said he was seeking warrants against senior Taliban leaders in Afghanistan over the prosecution of women, a crime against humanity. He noted that the court should not attempt to impose a particular interpretation of human rights on the entire world and ignore the religious and national values of people of the rest of the world. The Met Office has issued rare red weather warnings, meaning there is a danger to life as Storm Huwain batters the United Kingdom. The worst disruption is due to hit Northern Ireland and parts of Scotland, with gusts of up to 100 miles per hour, equivalent to 161 kilometers per hour, expected in some coastal areas. Millions of people are being urged to stay at home and not travel during this term, and widespread travel disruption is expected, with some flights and ferry crossings already cancelled. United States immigration agents have raided business and establishments in New York, New Jersey, and detained undocumented residents as well as citizens, including a U.S. military veteran. The city's mayor said the raid in New Jersey's most populous city, hailed in the past by Mayor Ras Baraka for its sanctuary policies protecting migrants, following President Donald Trump's pledge to deport millions of immigrants who are in the U.S. illegally. President Trump had issued a raft of executive orders after taking office that aim to clamp down on illegal immigration. He has taken steps to punish officials who resist enforcement of a sweeping crackdown. Away from the U.S. now, Russian aerial attacks near Kyiv have killed 3 people and wounded several others. Ukrainian officials said while Ukrainian drones targeted sites in 12 Russian regions, halting work at one factory, Moscow has launched drone or missile attacks almost every day on the capital since it launched its invasion of Ukraine in February of 2022, ostensibly targeting military and energy facilities. Black smoke billowed from a residential building damaged in the Russian strike as rescue workers hauled out of the bodies of the victims, official images from the scene had showed. And now time for sports. The Confederation of African Football, CAF, has ruled out the Super Eagles among the top 5 favorite teams to watch in this year's Africa Cup of Nations AFCON. However, the reigning African Player of the Year, Super Eagles and Atalanta of Italy striker Ademola Lookman has been listed as one of the top stars to watch at the 2025 AFCON holding in Morocco later in the year. The championship is returning to Morocco 37 years after the 1998 edition won by Cameroon. Kyle Walker is set to move from Manchester City to Milan after the 2 clubs agreed terms. Walker will join the Italian side on loan until the end of the season. Milan also have an option to make the move permanent in the summer, but there is no obligation built into the agreement. The 34-year-old England defender is expected in Milan to complete the deal. In tennis, defending champion Aryna Sabalenka has put her close friendship with Paula Badosa aside to sweep past the Spaniard into a 3rd successive Australian Open final. The Belarusian world #1 came home 6-4, 6-2 on Rod Laver Arena and will meet either Polish 2nd seed Iga Swiatek or American 19th seed Madison Keys in Saturday's decider. The hard, fast courts of Melbourne Park have been the 26-year-old's happy place as she has now won 20 straight matches at the Australian Open to close in on a 3rd consecutive crown. Quite an impressive trajectory there for a career-focused individual. As we end Global TV News Prime tonight, let's bring you a summary of some of our top stories. Minister of Women Affairs Imam Suleiman Ibrahim has unveiled a committee to review the National Child Policy of 2007. In business, 3 days after the scheduled deadline, the Transmission Company of Nigeria has announced the complete relocation of 8 132 kV and 33 kV towers along the Kukwaba-Apo 132 kV transmission line. On the foreign scene, Iranian police have arrested 2 young women after the publication of a video in which they danced in Tehran cemetery without adhering to the country's strict dress code. And finally in sport, we told you in tennis, defending champion Aryna Sabalenka has put a close friendship with Paula Badosa aside to sweep past the Spaniard into a 3rd successive Australian Open final. And that's how we come to a close on Global TV News Prime tonight. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times 276, and free to air on Nightcomsat. We encourage all of our viewers across the world to follow us using the handle at Global TV NG, as well as others, as you now see on your screen, to engage with us on social media. I'm Uyag Mofwegbe on behalf of the production team here tonight to say thank you for watching. We will see you again.